Yes, Mr. Chairman, making America great again, one hearing at a time. Welcome, gentlemen, to testify before us. Mr. Secretary, a point of personal privilege as a former enlisted soldier, it was uplifting to hear how you responded regarding the housing requirements and the challenges we face in Guam. And I asked to put on your radar that my office certainly stands in support of any endeavor that you pursue to make sure our soldiers, sailors, Marines have a decent place to lay their head as much as possible. Sometimes that's no place to lay your head. You know, speaking as a soldier, you're glad to find a decent tree somewhere, but when you house on base, it should be a place of restoration of the body and the soul. So thank you for your endeavor there. I ask you to consider the YRBM as a very effective method that we can use for forward deployment and completely appropriate berthing for our war fighters. Regarding NAVC, Mr. Secretary, this is my 9th year serving we the people in this bizarre realm of Washington, D.C. And I've learned a lot about shipbuilding. You know, I was a police officer prior to Congress, so I didn't know anything about shipbuilding, really. But it's been a very steep learning curve, and I've been hard at it. And what I have learned is that there's some issues with NAVC. Let me just leave it at that. And I encourage you to address it aggressively. Many of the shipbuilders that I serve seem to have constant challenges with communications and design change and delays and contractual disputes. It's unnecessary difficulties, and I'm uplifted to hear that you plan to address that. Regarding platform support vessels, Mr. Secretary, I have a question for you there. The Navy faces significant logistics challenges in the Indo-Pacific region, and the Fleet Readiness Office has identified the need for and approved the use of at least a dozen or so at-sea resupply ships to enable refueling, rearming, and resupply of naval assets, both afloat and on shore, in contested environments and theaters of engagement via ship-to-ship operations and ship-to-port operations. So I understand that the Navy's Fleet Readiness Office has identified commercially available platform supply vessels, or PSVs, as a potential solution here. Will you speak to that versus the time and expense of building vessels as brand new? Admiral and Secretary General.
Yeah, I'll start. We are focused on 1 January 2027. I think there's an opportunity to use some vessels that exist today, not just for resupply and supply, but also for other things, counter C5ISRT and others, as we transition to this hybrid fleet. So I think it's an and answer. I don't think it's an or answer, and I look forward to working with you, sir.
Yes, sir. Excellent. My dad was a Navy guy, so I learned to speak the language. By the way, Admiral, I can follow you. General?
Sure, I think anytime we can use a commercially available vessel that's already extant, we should. It may not suit all of our needs, but if it meets 80% of our needs, then we got to call that good enough and move on. So I'm a big fan of using things that are extant now because it reduces the time burden, and time is the one thing in combat that you can't buy back.
Well, roger that. Mr. Secretary?
As I said, all options are on the table, and that's one we have to definitely consider. I mean, as I said, there's the short term and long term, and we've got that is a big problem. And as the Navy likes to call the Indo-Pacific, we've got the tyranny of distance. So we need ships, and if that's the right answer, that's what we're going to do.
So we've covered, thank you, Mr. Secretary, we've covered like 2 essential topics here as it relates to readiness and deployment and shipbuilding. That's the YRBM as a solution for berthing and platform support vessels reconfiguration for to serve our purposes. As we look at the budget, I look forward to discussing that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.